Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Talking Movies with D, and that's me. Here on the show, I review movies basically to help you when you go to the movie theater decide on what you should be seeing that day. So today we're actually going to review a movie called 10 Cloverfield Lane that actually wasn't even getting marketing. No marketing was done until about a month ago. So here we go. The movie is directed by Dan Trachtenberg, and it's his actual first feature film. He's only done a couple of shorts besides that. But here's the synopsis. After getting in a car accident, Mary Elizabeth's character, Michelle, wakes up in a bunker where Howard, played by John Goodman, claims he saved her from the poisonous air around her while all while her trying to figure out if he's telling the truth or not. This movie is like I said, directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who is a first-time feature film director. It's another movie produced by J.J. Abrams, who did the Star Trek film, Star Wars, and Lost. This guy's a great producer, great director. He's got his hands in everything. And as a lot of people might know, J.J. Abrams is a very secretive person with most of his productions. So with this, when this movie was finally, I mean, they announced it 2 years ago, but nobody really knew anything about it. But they just announced it 2 years ago, and then out of nowhere, this movie's been hidden from everybody until about a month ago when they finally decided to market. Um, a couple things I want to say before I actually get into my positive and negatives, like as I normally do. This movie's technically a sequel to Cloverfield, and personally, I wish they wouldn't have put the Cloverfield name on there, just because of the fact that, and the reason I say this is because I remember me and Ode talking about the movie before I saw it. When you think Cloverfield, you think of that big monster. You think of the handheld cam and running around and dealing with things that way. It's not that movie, and basically most of the movie takes place in this bunker, and they're dealing with the after effects of what happened in Cloverfield. Um, so it's good to have the knowledge that Cloverfield happened because that was part of the fun of the film, knowing the truth or knowing some of the truth, but it's not even essentially important to the film. It actually could have just been called uh, I don't know, some bunker movie or is Howard lying? I don't know, some crazy title. That really doesn't have nothing to do with Cloverfield, in my opinion. There's nothing about this film that need to say it was Cloverfield. Um, and it kind of could hurt the film a little bit because, and this is why I'm saying this, if you go in expecting a monster movie and a movie that was like Cloverfield, you're gonna get the wrong movie because Cloverfield, it was considered an action horror movie. This movie is in this description is a drama mystery sci-fi, and that's really what it is. It's a drama mystery sci-fi, 100%. The sci-fi is because you're dealing with technically an alien. Technically, it's based off of a movie with an alien, so that's the sci-fi part. Then you got the mystery and the drama, and that's everything that happens in the bunker. So with that being said, and I hope you guys understand that when you go see the film, here are my positives and negatives, or my negatives first as always. The movie has a very slow burn throughout the movie, especially the first 30 minutes. It's not a lot going on. You're getting a lot of information, but there's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of action going on, and that's why it's important that you know that this is not an action film. This is just a drama mystery film with a little sci-fi thrown in there. And as I said before, if you're expecting a direct sequel from Cloverfield, you will hate this movie because it's completely far from that. In my opinion, it shouldn't have been. It just shouldn't have been called Cloverfield Lane, or should have been called 10, 10 Buckingham Lane or something like that. Could have been any other name if you wanted to keep 10 Lane in there. And I know why they said 10 Cloverfield Lane, but you could have just changed that take the Cloverfield part out and not call it a sequel. And J.J. Abrams even said it's not a direct sequel; it's like a pseudo sequel. It's just in that world. It's a small story in the world of Cloverfield. So if you're going with that intention of saying, "Hey, this is the new next monster movie," no, don't. You're gonna hate it. And so I put that more, not really a negative, but just as a thought to keep. And the only other negative I could say I have is I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the ending. The ending definitely felt rushed. As always, I don't give spoilers, but the ending definitely felt sort of rushed. Um, but it was still good. I just had to marinate on it a little bit more. I'm not 100% sure. I think when I first saw it, I was like, all right. And then the more I thought about it, I do like it. It's just I just felt it was kind of rushed and shoehorned in, and mainly because of the Cloverfield background. But that's all I really have for my negatives. My positive, I do have a lot, but I'm only going to list a few as always. So we're going to start with the actors: John Goodman, Mary Elizabeth, and John Gallagher. John Goodman, man, this guy. I can't think of who the character in this movie reminds me of, and it's not a specific person. It's another character in the movie, but he does this character perfectly because the funnest part about this movie is you're trying to figure out, is he lying, or is he lying, telling the truth, or is he just batshit crazy? That's the whole thing. That's the main thing in this movie is you're trying to figure out. Like, we know as the audience that the Cloverfield stuff really happened. So what he's saying is sort of true, that they are in danger because we saw Cloverfield. But Mary Elizabeth's character Michelle, she has no idea. So all of the while you're trying to figure that out. Is she's trying to figure that out. Is what he's saying true or not? And even though we know the stuff outside of the bunker actually happened, and not in the way technically that he's talking about, but we know that stuff happened, you're gonna be in her boat. Like, hey, is he just crazy? Like, is he really trying to protect her? And that's what you should feel. You should feel like the protagonist of the film. You should feel like her trying to figure out what's really going on. And John Gallagher, he's another guy in the bunker. He did a great job. You don't see him as much because it's really a two-person film for the most part. But he does his part as a supporting character. And I just have to say that how good he did because I like this character as well. And uh, one thing I don't think I wrote down, but I have to definitely mention, Michelle is not your average damsel in distress or victim of a horror movie. She's intelligent. She's trying to figure stuff out. Like, she does some stuff anybody normally in that situation would probably never think of. But from the beginning to the end, she's making decisions, smart decisions, on trying to figure out whether what's going on, can she escape, should she trust these people? Like, she's actively doing things and finding clues on if John Goodman's a good guy or not. And that's something that's very rare in movies where you have the main character who's a female, not just making in a horror movie technically, not just making stupid mistakes for the plot. She's just actually seems like a legitimate human being. Hey, I'm in this situation. What I got to do? Do I run? Do I hide? This look kind of weird. I should investigate it. Like, that was her. That was the way she was, and that was probably one of the best things in the movie, besides the mystery behind it. Even though like it was a slow burn, like I said in my negatives, and it's not really a negative saying that because it'll turn some people off being a slow burn. But I was engaged the entire time. It's like I said, it's not an action movie. There is some action in it, but you're so hung up on, is John Goodman sincere about everything he's doing? Is he, lying? Is he kind of crazy? Did this happen? That all that mystery sucks you into the movie. You're in 100% of the time. There might be a couple of dry moments in the movie, but there's not a time in the movie where I was like, I'm getting bored with this. I was engaged the entire time, and I had a lot of parts in the movie. I had to admire John Goodman and Mary Elizabeth, their acting, because they portrayed their characters perfectly. Because John Goodman, he's being a nice guy, but he's kind of a weirdo. So it's like, do I trust him or not? And even me as Ultimate, I was thinking like, dang it, he's good, but I don't know what side of the fence is he on? And I even know what happened out there. What happened outside the bunker, and I know that truth. But it's like, is this guy got all his marbles? And I love that part of it. And that's all I'm gonna say for my negative. I ran the video longer than I wanted to anyway, so that's all I'm gonna say for my negative. There's a lot more. That's all I'm gonna say for my positives. There's a lot more positives in the film than that. But let me just get to rating it because I also have another review to do as well. Out of 10, I'm gonna give this movie a complete 8. Uh, Probably because, like I said, it is a slow burn, and it's definitely not going to be for everybody. But I would recommend anybody who loves a mystery or a thriller. I would recommend this movie to go see in theater. It's definitely. I don't think anybody from when I walked out, I don't think anybody had any seemed upset or down about the movie. I think they all were excited and kind of and honestly looking forward to a sequel to this part, not the Cloverfield, but a sequel to this part of the Cloverfield world. And I'm definitely curious on what happens next in the story. So that's all I got. As always, you guys can follow me on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff, at dwood2324. Make sure to leave a comment in the video. Tell me if you enjoyed Cloverfield Lane or if you're wanting to see it now. I mean, personally, out of the movies I've seen that come out this weekend, this is the best one. So if you're choosing a movie to go see this and you haven't seen like the Deadpools or what's the other stuff that came out? How to Get Single? I can't think of the last couple movies, but if you haven't seen the movies that came out last week or the weekends before, Cloverfield Lane's your best bet. I promise you that. The movie that came out this week, the Cloverfield Lane, is the one you should see. But that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you check out my other reviews. I have a lot more coming. Actually, I'm going to do Brothers Grimsby in a bit. So both of those reviews will be up in the next hour or two. So get you guys next time. Deuces, and I'm out.